So, as we always do right before our talks, we place our hands over our heart, taking 3 deep breaths, and repeat after me: care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. And so the theme for this month is listen to your heart. And today's topic is the seat of the soul, if you're following along with our Center for Spiritual Living journal. The soul is that deeper part of us that is connected to the divine. It is connected to that shining light that is within each of us. It's those moments when we feel extraordinary joy, happiness, those moments when we're inspired by something, those moments when we're deeply moved by life, moved to tears even. Those moments when we feel called to go in a particular direction and we can't really explain why, but we feel this calling to move us in another direction. All of those experiences, that's the soul. That's the soul. Rumi said, when you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. And this is so true, because when we operate from our soul, when we live from our soul, it's as if this river is moving through us. This energy is guiding us and directing us. And when we allow that to move through us, all we can experience is joy. So when we are tapped into that, it's more of a feeling. It's not something that comes from our thinking self. It's not something that comes from our mind. It goes beyond the intellect. In John Welsham's book, One Soul, One Love, One Heart, he talks about the soul as being beyond thought. It's the essence of who we are. And, you know, in our society, are we not trained to operate more from our heads than our hearts? Maybe that's just me. I can be a very analytical person. I'm kind of wired that way. I love to ponder and think. But, you know, and our society has trained us, most of us, to do that, to operate that way. And so as we move along our spiritual journey, we begin to learn how to tap in, how to go within and tap into our heart from that deeper place. And when we can commune with the soul, we can let go of the intellect. It doesn't mean the intellect goes away. We need the intellect, yes? But in order to connect in with our soul, we have to, even for a moment, set aside that intellectual side, set aside our thinking self. You know, each one of us has a unique set of fingerprints, and we also have a unique fingerprint that is our soul. We each have this unique soul expression that is uniquely us, that is only us. There is only one of us on this planet with our unique set of characteristics and personality and experiences that have shaped us and molded us to who we are. And if you look around your life and the choices that you've made and the guidance that you've received, as I was saying earlier, the guidance to go in a particular direction, the guidance to make a certain choice, that's the soul. It's the soul that allows us to do that and speaks through us and moves through us. It is our divine nature that is guiding us in our life. Sometimes we get these inklings. Sometimes we get these things that come to us that we can't quite explain, that's pushing us in a particular direction. And for whatever reason, we ignore it. We push it aside. We question it, we doubt it. And so we may stay a little longer in a relationship than we know we should. Or we stay in a job way past the expiration date. Now, it's not to say that those decisions aren't also supporting us, because in some way, whatever choice we make is supporting us in our life. But when we are tapped into the soul, when we get quiet enough to tap into that inner place within us, that soul is going to guide us and show us exactly what we need that will bring us the most joy and the most freedom in our life. But how do we do that? How do we connect in to that deeper part of ourselves? It requires us to get quiet. It requires us to listen. And how do we listen if our mind is going? So we have to close our eyes and drop in and develop a relationship with our soul, just like anything, just like a relationship with someone new in our life. If you don't already have a relationship with your soul, maybe it's time. Gary Zukav said, "You cannot find your soul with your mind. You must use your heart." And so if we took time to close our eyes and to, with our intention to drop in to our soul, we can ask questions of it, because it truly is our greatest partner in our life. We can ask the soul, "What are you calling me to do?" We can ask it directly, "Soul, what are you calling me to do?" You know, this time of isolation from the outside world is creating actually the perfect environment, is it not? The perfect environment to get quiet and to go within and to ask these questions. You know, this time, I know many have lost jobs. And if that's you, if you're listening and you've lost your job, I am so sorry, as I can imagine how painful and how challenging this time must be. However, this is also a time where we can reinvent ourselves. A time to reignite a part of ourselves that perhaps has been dormant prior to the pandemic. And now, as we're all forced to be inside, we are being asked to come within. We are being asked to get more quiet, to reflect, to ask the soul, "What are you calling me to do?" Another way of asking is, what is my soul's purpose? We all came here with a mission. As a soul, every single one of us came here with a mission. We were here to express our unique talents and gifts, and every single one of us has talents and gifts to share with the world. And if you're listening to this and you're wondering, what are my gifts? I haven't really thought about my gifts and my talents. Yes, I might be a great communicator. Yes, I might be loving. But is there something more than that? Is there something that is unique to me that I've never even thought about? You can ask that question too. You can get quiet and ask your soul, what are my greatest gifts? What are the talents that I came here to express in the world? And you know, there's something that inspires each of us. We're all so unique and so different. What inspires me may not inspire you. But that's what we're here to find out. What inspires us? What moves us? And those moments, those experiences, that's our soul speaking to us. This week, I posted on our Facebook page a beautiful video of some musicians singing a song called "Times Like These." Amazing lyrics. Some of the lyrics were, and I would sing it, but you don't want to hear me sing, so I'm not going to do that. But the lyrics were, "It's times like these you learn to live again. It's times like these you give and give again. It's times like these you learn to love again. The song moved me because I could feel within my soul that truly these are times when we are learning to love again. That perhaps we are learning to love in a deeper way, in a way that we never did before. A more compassionate love, a deeper love, a more profound love for our families, for our communities, and perhaps even for strangers across this planet whom we will never meet. For some of us, perhaps there were parts that were shut off, parts of us that we closed off prior to this pandemic. And now we have this opportunity to come alive again, to reignite some part of ourselves that wants to be expressed. So it is times like these that is allowing us to love again, to love in a new way, in a different way. Mark Nepo said, when we can follow what moves us, we break open what is possible and the light of the soul spills out of us. What an amazing writer he is. I love that. The light of the soul spills out when we follow what moves us. That is the soul calling us, speaking to us. Your soul is calling you to something greater, perhaps. And only you know that for yourself. But isn't it worth taking time to tune into that, to feel into that? What is my soul calling me to do right now in my life? And some may be thinking, well, I've done my career. I'm now retired. I'm at the end, of my life. Still ask the question. Still ask the question. Because I'm knowing that there's something extraordinary that's available to each of us if we ask that. We just have to ask. We have to get quiet and ask. 6 weeks ago, I left the Center for Spiritual Living, Boulder Valley in Lafayette. And I came here. And I made that announcement about 2 weeks. They would have killed me if it was 2 weeks. 2 months prior to leaving. Most were supportive. Most were supportive and loving. I'd been there 4 years. I left as their senior minister. But there were a few that were not supportive at all. In fact, they were angry. There was one gentleman, the husband of one of our congregants. He was so angry with me that he wouldn't even sit in the congregation when I spoke. He would leave the room. And these were people that were dear to me, people that I loved. And to watch and to witness how they were responding to me was incredibly painful. But I knew that my soul was calling me in a different direction. My soul was calling me to come here. And I was happy there. I was connected to these beings. I loved my job. And yet my soul was calling me in a different direction. And I explained this and I shared this, and some just didn't understand. They were hurt. They felt betrayed that I was leaving this community and pulled away from me. Some even accused New Thought Northern Colorado of stealing me away. And Barbara Bew said to me, "We didn't steal you away. We gave you an opportunity to grow." And that's exactly it. And as I reached out to other ministers during that time for support, a wonderful minister by the name of Gregory Toole said to me that your soul is calling you to its next highest level of expression. Trust that. And I did. And I'm so grateful for that. And so when we make these decisions in our lives, sometimes our soul is calling us in a particular direction and we may not understand it. And there may be people in our lives that don't support it. that question us, that judge us, that criticize us because it doesn't fit with their plans or what their expectations are of us. And yet we know, if we are connected into our soul and listening to that guidance, we know what is right. Because our soul always will guide us in the direction of our highest and best good, always. And if we are tapped into that, joy is possible, freedom is possible, love, more love is possible. And I have a feeling right now that some of you, as you're watching this, there's something that's been stirring in you. Perhaps during this pandemic over the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something is beginning to stir. I encourage you to listen to that. I encourage you to drop in and listen and trust what is wanting to be birthed from you. Because I believe that there's something extraordinary that is happening on this planet right now. We are all being given a gift of tuning into that the beautiful soul that is within each of us, that divine intelligence that always says yes. And if we have the courage to tap into it, and we may not get answers right away, we may not get answers, but through time and through continuing to ask and through prayer and through meditation, the answers will come. And you will know. Trust the process. And so what I invite you to do right now is place your hands over your heart and just say thank you to your soul. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for guiding me on this journey called life, for the unique, beautiful, and extraordinary expression that I am. Thank you. Let's pray. And so right here, right now, we move into that knowing, into that beautiful expression that is our soul. And we ask the question, what are you guiding me? What is my soul's purpose? What is my calling? And we trust what comes forth. We trust what comes through us. For we know that we are being guided. We know that we are being supported always. I know that right here, right now, that what is happening on this planet, that what is happening for us each individually is absolutely perfect for our unique soul expression on this planet. I am knowing that each of us are surrounded and guided always by that divine intelligence that always says yes. And that we are blessed and supported and held and lifted up by that beautiful expression of God. And so I give thanks for this. I give thanks for all that is unfolding for every single one of us. For I absolutely know that it is perfect. I absolutely know that all is in divine right order. And so I let this go, I release it, and know that God's got our back, now and always. And so I let this go, I allow it to be. And we all ground this in together by saying, and so it is. Amen.
I am the place where God is, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. Oh, I am the place where God is, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. Oh, I
Thank you, Valerie. That was lovely. And Leah, what a beautiful talk. Thank you. Let's just come together and celebrate our gifts, our tithes, and our offerings. We are just so deeply grateful for everything that you share and continue to share with NTNC during this time, so that we can continue this great work, this great time for us to be together, to be with our spiritual family, and to deepen in this very, very important presence within us. And so there are several ways that you can give. Barbara is posting several of the links in the chat room, and on our Facebook Live chat as well. You can go to our website at newthoughtnortherncolorado.org, www.newthoughtnoco.org. You can text the word give to the following phone number, 970-614-4226. You can also just mail your gift to the office. The address is listed on our website and posted in the Zoom chat and the Facebook chat. But now, if you know it, let's just affirm together our offertory prayer. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing God is my source, and so it is. Amen.